Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this morning mountain weather update. Let's go to California first. It is still snowing. This is Mount Rose around Lake Tahoe, snowing and blowing up there at the summit view. Down to Kirkwood, still snowing. Kirkwood's reporting about 19 inches in the last 24 hours, about 2 feet over the last couple of days. This is our next storm system. It's still hitting California, but a piece of it is already beginning to blow into the interior with the powerful jet stream just escorting that moisture. In fact, it is snowing right now up in the Wasatch. This is Solitude. It is going to be an outstanding day up there. It's going to snow most of the day across the Wasatch. Looking for 5 to 8 inches of accumulation during the day today. Here's radar, and you can kind of see it. The low is still hanging back in California, but we're already seeing Vanguard precip with the jet being blown up into Utah, Idaho, back into the Tetons. You've got precip all the way up into Oregon, Washington, a bit up in Montana. Let me take you into Southern California with here's the atmospheric river plume coming right over the top of Los Angeles. There's so much rain down in Los Angeles out of this, and of course all this moisture then would slam up against the Sierra and generate heavy snowfall there. So this storm system is on the move. That's the bottom line with this. Here are my bullet points this morning. Here's what I'm seeing. This is all part of the storm cycle until 212. So we've got storm systems that are going to run across the west through 212. The one you see in California, already making its move out, that's the next one. Now it moves into Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, New Mexico, 2.5 through 2.8. Then there are 2 smaller storm systems that will race out of like the central California coast and then down through parts of clipping Idaho, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado, 2.8 through 2.10, which will keep the snow going during that time frame. There's also a fast weak storm still in my forecast for the northern tier. British Columbia, over the top of Banff and Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, maybe running down and hitting Colorado, 2.10 through 2.12. So that's why I think this whole thing runs through about 2.12. Let me take you back. I want to mark some features here. Here's water vapor satellite imagery this morning. So on this, the oranges and reds are your drier air aloft, and your moistures and your whites and your blues. And there's your storm system over California. Another big area of low pressure behind it. Oh, this one's going to slip up into Alaska and into Canada, and eventually it will send some energy down into the Intermountain West and help to develop some of those other smaller storm systems down the road. But this is the main setup right now. This is the low that will be moving into the interior, 2.5 through 2.8. Let me show you the forecast radar and satellite. So that's the situation by this afternoon. All right, here we go. 2.6 in the morning, 2.6 in the afternoon. Now by 2.7, much more widespread precip. The main low pressure, area of low pressure is on the move. Heavy snow, Wasatch, Tetons, Idaho, Montana, Colorado, western and southwest Colorado in particular. Here's 2.7 in the afternoon. Here's 2.8. Now what you see right here, by 2.8 in the afternoon, there's one of those 2 smaller storm systems is racing down. It's hard to see. It meshes with the backside of this storm system. And there's even another one behind that. You can see that coming into the Pacific Northwest. So let's go into 2.9. There it is. Look at that. That next, so it's 2 fast storm systems that come in very quickly and almost mesh with that first storm. That's 2.9 in the afternoon, 2.10, races down. By 2.11, it's out of here. Here comes that northern tier storm, 2.12, 2.13, and then it's done. By the time we get into 2.14, we're really just left with a much more disorganized pattern. I'll show that to you on the jet pattern coming up here. Let me show you the jet for 2.7. So this is 2.7, pretty broad trough storm system moving into Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, Colorado, New Mexico. And it leaves, you can see the backside, the western side, that slide, that jet orientation will escort those 2 fast-moving smaller storm systems in pretty quickly. All right, here's 2.10. Just what's left of our storm system, our final storm moving out of Colorado and New Mexico on 2.10. And then up into BC, you can kind of see a little bit of a dip in the jet. That's that northern tier storm that will race through. Here's 2.14. Now by 2.14, things are much more disorganized. You've kind of got a split jet going on. There's no Arctic air. There's no real cold air across the Intermountain West at this point. We're really just waiting. 2.14 is more of a transition period. It's more of a waiting game on 2.14. All right, snowfall by time period. Today through tomorrow, probably 4 to 8 inches across the Wasatch, 6 to 12 up through the Tetons, and you can see a little bit of light snow, mainly on 2-6 in western and southwest Colorado. Another 6 to 10 inches across the High Sierra today. Here's 2-7 through 2-9, couple of feet for Little and Big Cottonwood Canyon, about a foot up there in Park City, Snow Basin, Deer Valley. Another 8 to 12 up there through parts of the Tetons, and pretty good snow through western and southwest Colorado. Looking at about 8 to 16 inches, maybe a 20-inch amount over Wolf Creek, Purgatory. But that's going to be a nice snowfall during 2-7 to 2-9. Quite a bit less on the Continental Divide of Colorado, Loveland, A-Basin, Winter Park, Summit County, Keystone, Eldora. Looking at maybe 4 to 6 inches for those places. All right, let's go to the final time period. This captures that final storm diving down through Colorado, New Mexico, and also that northern tier storm. So looking at probably 8 to 16 up through BC and Washington State. 3 to 8 inches through Revelstoke and Kicking Horse, and another 5 to 8 through the Tetons. Let me back it up one time period. 2-7 through 2-9 in BC. Kicking Horse, Revelstoke, probably 2 to 4. So we go 2 to 4, and then we add another 3 to 7 on top of that through that final time period. And then after, this basically runs through about 212. After 212, like I was showing you, the pattern's much more disorganized. So it's essentially 210 through 212 where you get most of that accumulation. All right, one last stop into the northeast. Not much here. The storm track that I talked about yesterday has really shifted away. In fact, that was looking like a major storm for late in the period is no longer even on the board with a different track. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this morning mountain weather update. Enjoy all the new snow out there, and I'll talk with you later.